All right, guys. Anika's been living here like 16 years in Costa Rica. She came before it was cool. And we're going to be talking all about it. And I bet you recognize her name. And I'm going to tell you how you recognize her name in a second. Guys, I'm Michael Allen from TravelCostaRicaNow.com. Guys, we got another relocation retreat coming up. If you're interested, Costa Rica's on your radar, but you're not quite sure, this 6-day event might be for you. It's give you all the information. We don't try to talk you into anything. No blowing smoke. At the end of this retreat, I think you'll know whether Costa Rica is right for you or it's honey. We're going to Belize. All that information is in a link in the description. Guys, if you haven't subscribed, please do. YouTube's hard. YouTube's hard.
I know.
And if you want to see videos as we put them up, hit the notification bell. All right, I'm going to tell you, Annika, okay, Annika's my partner in crime in Travel Costa Rica Now. She's my partner. She's the one that hooks up your travel packages. It has been for how many years? How long have we been together?
Since 2016.
Does your husband ever get jealous?
Okay. No, not of you.
Damn it.
Maybe of D'Angela's hair, but otherwise.
Anyway, Annika's been with Travel Costa Rica Now, the instrumental part for a long time. We get along very well. We actually did a video with Annika about 7-8 years ago.
7-8 years ago?
Yeah, I actually, on that video, I think we talked a lot about your husband and how you kind of married the prince.
Yeah, my fairy tale.
And actually, I'll bet you 8 years in, okay, that was 8 years ago, and I bet you still feel the same way.
100%.
She married, just before we get started, she married the greatest guy, man. He is the nicest guy. They are the perfect couple. But anyway, maybe I'll put that, if you want to see that video like 7 or 8 years ago, I'll put a link in the description. You can check it out. But we're gonna talk about, Annika's been here just about as long as I have, and we're going to see how she got here, because what I said earlier, which is true, now people come here, they're doing digital nomad stuff, and then people come in out of the countries and stuff. But back when we came out here, it was a little more unique. Thing. It was it was retirees that came here. But now,
absolutely.
So let's catch up. So you came here in 2005 for the first time?
I came in 2005 for the very first time to be a volunteer. I'd been hearing about Costa Rica for a very, very long time. I had friends that have had property down here since the 70s. So I'd been always hearing about Costa Rica. And yeah, finally got a phone call for a volunteer opportunity. I was kind of in between, just jobs and kind of at a weird place in my life, and decided I was going to take advantage of it. And so I came down for 6 months, my very first time, all by myself.
Now, was that just like a recognizance thing? Like you were just checking out to see if it was the right place for you? Or?
No, I had no intentions of moving here at all. My intention was to spend my 6 months, do my volunteering, check out Costa Rica and see some monkeys and eat some mangoes, and go back home and go back. I was a R&D microbiologist. So, that was like what I had a degree in and what I had been working. So my goal was, I thought it was like a sabbatical.
Almost? Yeah, like a reboot.
I needed a I called it actually kind of a sabbatical.
Actually, I want to ask you about that, because I think it's interesting. So what was going through your mind back then? Because you obviously ended up moving here. So what was going on? Because, that's a big decision. You just don't go move around the world at that time, you know, as a single woman.
Yeah.
At that time you were a single woman. So what was going on in life? Felt like you needed a new adventure? Did you feel like nothing's happening here? Or what?
I was coming out of a 6-year relationship. I broke up with my boyfriend. I left him. I just said, this isn't what I want the rest of my life to look like. So yeah, and I moved out and, took the cat, and I was just I was looking for a new job. I was looking for a new place to live. I was kind of in this weird place.
Yeah, but most people would just change cities.
I did. And then about 3 weeks later, I got a phone call for this opportunity, which oddly enough, I said no to the very first phone call. I said, because exactly, I was like, I'm just literally signed a, month-to-month lease, like me and the cat. I just redid my resume, right? I was in that mode. And I said no to the first phone call. And then my really, really good friend called me up and basically said, pull your head out of your ass. You are insane if you don't go and take advantage of this. Like, this is exactly what you do need right now. You need to get out of this place and go somewhere else and just kind of find out who you are again. Like, who are you alone as yourself? And I did take a little bit of so I was like, okay, maybe he's right. So I ended up going out to lunch like the next day. And this dude randomly sits right next to me with a Costa Rica shirt on and a Costa Rica Lonely Planet. while I'm having lunch. And I looked at him and I'm like,
is this a sign?
Yeah. I was like, so did you just go to Costa Rica? Like, are you going to Costa Rica? What's going on? He's like, oh, I just came back. I'm in love. Like, I'm already planning my next trip. And I took that as a sign. So I called back the lady and I said, is it still available? Can you give me like 3 weeks? Because I do need to sublet my place and, make sure my parents can take my cat and the stupid stuff. And she said, yeah, we'll wait for you.
I think it's interesting. I say this all the time, but I'm going to say it again. I do think Costa Rica, you said you came out here to like see who you are as yourself. No, you're not with anybody. So it's a bold move, bold adventure. And I think Costa Rica does give you the perfect backdrop, and it can go either way.
Absolutely.
It can definitely go either way. It's not all freaking paradise.
No.
This can be the most loneliest.
Yes.
The quiet is deafening.
Yes.
And it can really get in your head.
You're right. It's a beautiful way to put it, actually. It's 100% true.
So when you got out here, were you still up in the air whether you're going to stay here or not? Or were you still, even though you've been here the 6 months, now you're back here, was it still like, well, I can go back anytime? What was in your head? Or I'm here.
Like when I left so I did go back to the States for about a year and then moved back down. So I did leave after my 6 months.
So you had the 6 months.
I went back.
All right.
But during that 6 months is when I did meet the love of my life, right? So that clearly changed everything. During that volunteer stint is when I met Danielle. And so we were hanging out for like the last month that I was here.
Guys, you got to watch that video, man. I have never seen two people more in love in my life. And this video was 8 years ago. You'd think right now she'd be going, yeah, he's getting on my nerves. No,
I love him.
I saw him last night. They're still doing that little kissy thing. Ugh. No. Okay, so go ahead.
So that changed everything. Obvious. I did. I did the one thing everybody said don't do. Like, don't fall in love with a local and move back down. And
so you didn't come out here. So you came here because of him.
I did when I moved back. So he during that year
That's
that
a
I was.
Move, Annika.
I know.
A strong move.
During that year, he came to California to visit me. He came to Florida to be my date for my best friend's wedding. I came back down here twice to visit him. So, and every time we're falling more and more in love, and every time we don't want to say goodbye. So that last time we really realized, I don't want to say goodbye. So what does this look like? And I feel really blessed and fortunate that he was actually completely okay with going to San Diego. It wasn't if I have to move to Costa Rica or this isn't working. Yeah. However, I met that man working and he loves what he does. He works his dream job here. And it's not a dream job that you can go do in California. We don't have this natural paradise.
He's a tour guide.
He's a naturalist tour guide here. And so he knows all the plants and all the birds. And I'm thinking, what is this man going to do in San Diego? We don't have what he does here. Yeah. And I was not working my dream job at all by any means, right? I was not. I was still kind of trying to figure out some things. So I just said, give me some months. Let me get my stuff. I got to sell my car and, do some things, figure out some shit. But I'll move down. And I even told my mom when I left, I was like, I honestly don't know. I could be gone 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years, 20 years.
Normally
I didn't really know but I knew I was going to have regrets if I didn't come. And so I did come I moved into his place, right? To his bachelor pad. And
that's another video.
That's a whole other video, his bachelor pad. So at that point I was in it. I was when I came down, though, I was in it for whatever that looked like.
So normally, I think even you would tell people, I think what changes your decision, you guys, he comes out to Florida, he comes to California, you came down here. It's not like you went back after 6 months. I really like that guy. I'm going to move down there now.
Yeah.
It was a pretty calculated move. I would tell you would have been a dumbass if you just would have came back after 6 months. I love this guy in Costa Rica. I'm going to move.
Yeah. No.
So that would be different, I think. But the way you did it, obviously, is the risk factor. I know I like him. He likes me. He's shown he loves me. Yes. He came to Florida and done this thing. So
yes. And we're traveling together and we're doing well traveling together, which is important to me and anybody I'm going to be with because I do like to travel. And so as we were kind of doing little things, we were just falling more and more in love.
Wow, man, that's so cool. So actually, it's not so much it was Costa Rica. So if he would have lived in Panama,
I would be in Panama right now and probably not know you.
Okay, so interesting, kind of interesting. So, but you did you like Costa Rica?
Loved Costa Rica.
Because?
Because of that volunteer. I loved how nice the people were. I love the nature. I mean, the birds, the flowers, the monkeys. Like I still to this day get excited to see a monkey in a tree because I just think
Sloth
it's
with me.
yes.
Sloth,
Okay, me too.
sloth.
Everything. I get so excited. You'd think I'd never seen this before, and I've seen them thousands of times. It's amazing to me that like a sloth just lives in the tree, right? So this is that kind of stuff is magical. I really liked the food. I liked the people. I liked the slower pace of life. I felt like San Diego at that time was, and it just getting busier and more crowded and more crazy and just that rush and the rat race, basically. And coming here, it was like just taking this big, deep breath, and life just felt a little more simple, a little more pure, the things that I do value in life.
You know, it's funny. We're not funny, but I view San Diego as probably the best city in the United States.
It absolutely is.
I just do. It's got the perfect everything
balance. Yeah,
I mean,
and we got the water.
Got got a little bit of that. Got good people. I mean, everything is good. So the fact that you like,
but it's still a city. It's still, still, you know, it's not this. We don't have monkeys and sloths in the trees.
So when you say simple, do you mean the slower pace of things, not to be on that hamster wheel?
Yes.
Like I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do this.
Yes, it felt slower. It felt more relaxed. Everything, just seemed.
Because you're kind of, am I wrong on this? You're kind of type A-ish.
Oh, absolutely. Oh.
Yeah, you damn it.
Yes.
No, so
nailed it.
I
absolutely
don't know how to say it, but you know, sometimes the type A's, because I'm one too.
Yeah.
Has a hard time kind of backing off a little bit. You know, just a little. So do you feel it helped you? Did you kind of know? Did it ever bother you that the slower pace might be too slow? You know what I mean?
Yes, I know exactly what you mean. And I don't think so, because honestly, the slowest I'd ever lived was during my volunteering. So I was in a very, very remote part of the country, no electricity.
Where were you?
On the Osa Peninsula.
Shit.
So I was you have to get there by a boat or a plane. And it's just very, my water came from the river. We had no electricity. So that was by far the slowest in my life. And I was reading books like every few days. Obviously, soaking in the nature.
Let's do a shout out real quick about the Osa Peninsula here. It is the most more people need to go there. You really do wake up with monkeys everywhere. You know when they say, "Oh, it's paradise."
No, it's paradise.
It is down there.
It's probably one of my most favorite places on the planet. And and I fell in love with that place. Yeah, it is so special, right? It's so raw and natural. But I figured if I could survive that, then I would be okay living with him in a town and where I have stores and bars and a mall and go to the movies and do other things. So that did not bother me, the slow part. I think what took me a little while when I first got here, and obviously this was a long time ago, and I know we have access to a lot more things now, but access to things. Like it just, sometimes there's things that I wanted that here is just not as quick and easy to go get those things, or
that we took for granted.
Yes. And even though you tell yourself, oh, I want the slower pace, I want the simpler thing, but sometimes you still want that instant gratification of being able to just go get whatever you want. And again, I think there's a lot more things now after all of these years, but it was different back then. And I struggled with some of that in the beginning.
You know, it's funny. It's kind of like people when they say they want to live off the grid.
Yeah.
They want to be off the grid, but they want the exit sign. They want an exit right there.
Exactly. I still want to be able to drive to it in a half an hour.
It's the funniest thing. Everyone says, I want to be off the grid. No, you don't.
No, you don't.
You don't.
I mean, very, very rarely, I think, can people really pull that off and really love it?
It's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing.
But I don't think most people realize
what that looks like.
Actually means.
Yes,
I don't think.
Absolutely.
So what else? So the people, obviously, you know, everyone says the people are nice here, but they are nice here.
They're so nice. They really are. I just felt like, I mean, everybody was so nice.
I was talking to, I think it was Johnny. It is true, man. If you stop in the middle of anywhere, they will stop.
Yeah.
You do not have to get on a phone.
No.
You don't have to do anything. They will stop. They will stop their day and freaking help you. It happened to us before a couple times.
Yeah.
They stop and change your tire. Yeah. They don't have a care in the world. They don't go, I got to be somewhere.
Yeah.
They stop.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Gringos don't do that.
No.
Gringos go right past you.
Another thing that I really loved coming down here is, being from San Diego and growing up so close to Mexico, we obviously have a lot of Mexicans and speak Mexican Spanish, but going down to Mexico, I always really struggled. I felt like they always thought my Spanish was like horrible and they wouldn't answer me in Spanish, or I don't know, like I would ask in perfect Spanish, where's the bank? And they'll tell me in English. Like, I don't know. I always felt weird here. I felt like I was, as I was learning and stumbling my way around, everybody was so nice about it.
And they appreciate it.
And they think it's so cool that you're trying. Exactly. Like they think it's so cool that you're even trying, that they'll let you take the time. They'll let you mess up the words, like those kinds of things. I didn't get that from Mexico ever. Right. So I also was kind of stoked to be in a place where I felt like I can finally really get on with my Spanish and not feel like I'm being judged, and people are taking the time to, and I can ask them, can you slow down? Can you say that slower? And they absolutely will. And I like that part.
Now wait a minute, Annika.
Sorry.
They do. When I say habla más despacio, porfa, they go, oh, okay, está bien. 20 segundos más.
Yeah. It lasts for that one sentence that you wanted them to say slow, and then they're all over.
Do you and Daniel talk English or Spanish?
Mostly English.
Well, his English is so good.
Perfect.
And your Spanish is really good, though.
Yeah. I'm getting better. I'm getting better. Believe it or not, of all the people in Costa Rica, for the longest time, I was the most embarrassed to speak Spanish around him. And he couldn't figure out why. Right? He's my best friend, my partner, my everything. And I would get so shy speaking Spanish with him, where I would speak to everybody else in Spanish. And I used to get very uncomfortable with him. So I know it's silly. I can't tell you why.
We can do a therapy session.
I know. We probably need to dig into that. There's clearly something that's not.
Let's place right over that. So was it when you came down here the second time? Now you're with Danielle.
I'm with Danielle, and I moved here.
Is this where you started doing Gap?
Yes.
So explain real quick what Gap is.
Yeah. So when I first did, so in that volunteering period, that last month, I did get to go travel around. And when I was up in Monteverde, I met a lovely woman, Donna, who's still my friend here, that lives actually in San Jose.
Shout out to Donna.
Shout out to Donna. I love you. I met her, and this is what she was doing. She was a tour leader for Gap at the time. Now it's called G Adventures. Gap was Great Adventure People. She was getting paid to travel with people all over Costa Rica and go ziplining and hiking and whale watching and volcano tours and go to the hot springs. And so I had her write down all this information in my journal, because I thought, if I ever come back here, that's the job that I want. So, and even I was telling everybody when I was getting ready for those couple months to move down here, everybody did obviously want to know what I was going to do for work. And the whole remote thing was not a thing in 2007, right? So I was like, well, I'm going to move in. And after 2 months, if everything goes well, I'm going to get a job with Gap, and I'm going to go be a tour leader. And everyone's like, oh, so you've applied, you have this job. I'm like, nope, but I'm just manifesting the shit out of this right now. This is exactly what's going to happen. And it's exactly what happened. I stayed just long enough to know that this was going to work out for at least a little while, right? I wasn't rushing home in 2 months. And I applied and I got the job, and I worked with them for 12 years.
I have to ask
I worked as a tour leader.
When I'm thinking about it, or I'll forget about it. So I'm going back a second. Was your family cool with all this? Did they think, do you? Or were they kind of going, what are you doing, baby?
100% on board with me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I feel very, very, very lucky for that. Don't get me wrong. In my mom's ideal world, I would live in the house right next door and have 5 babies right now, 100%. But my mother also knows that this is my life, and all she really wants is for me to be happy. So no, my parents, of course, my mom's a little nervous. I am moving down to Costa Rica she'd at least met Danielle. She obviously, my whole family loves him because he's amazing. So, and he promised that to take care of me, right? That he would kind of look after me. And no, I had nothing but love and support from my family. Very, very, very blessed.
So now that you've been here 16, whatever years, 17, whatever it is, what are your favorite things? Are they still the nature? Is it still the people? Is it still this? Is still, obviously the simple life is well with you.
Yes.
So, but what are the takeaways now? Have you changed any thinkings from back in the day, or is it pretty much now you're just living what you always thought it could be? Where are you at on today versus before?
Yeah, I feel like I feel like I kind of came in and set up a life that I love. I'm really, really happy. I still find the people to be amazing. I'm still in love with the nature. Sometimes life doesn't always seem as slow as it used to. And that's okay. And I feel like that's my choice, right? And
you keep busy.
Exactly. And I am kind of a type A. So times I need to be busy. It is where I thrive and what I like to do. What I like to do. So sometimes I do have to stop and be like, whoa, I'm getting kind of caught up again. And maybe I need to just go to the beach for 3 days and chill out, because I really can chill out. I can work. and I can disconnect.
Work hard, play hard.
Exactly. And
Right.
I'm very good at that. It's a very nice balance for me. So
well, you're kind of doing that right
exactly.
now.
I was like,
actually, that's why she's here. Yeah, she's doing that play hard thing
yeah,
right now.
yeah. Like, well, I work till like 11 or noon, and then I play.
To justify. No.
So yeah, I feel like, yeah, I've really created an absolutely amazing life here that I'm really happy with. I love our home. I love where we live. Was so accepted by my husband's family. So like, I really do
Obviously,
have
always helpful.
family here. Like, you know,
you
in
live,
that way.
The way you live, don't you live kind of with the family around in different houses?
Yeah, we're kind of on a compound
How cool
together
is that,
with like
man?
4 different homes. And
this is, to
we're
me,
all
it's
there.
the most, probably one of the biggest things I don't think people understand in the United States is how
Family.
important family is here. Now,
Family and
we all
community.
say it. We all kind of go, family's important.
No, but
they live it.
Yeah.
They freaking live
family
it.
and community is everything here.
Yep.
And I do have that now. I think in the beginning, I will be honest as well. I was a little bit lonely because I really did, friendship wise. I came from the town that I went to high school in, where I had friends everywhere. I could go out every night. I could go do anything. You know what I mean? I just had so many friends. And now all of a sudden I kind of just did have my husband there for a while. So it took me a while to get the friendships going and things, but I do have that now, right? So now I feel like I have everything, and I'm still madly in love with that man of mine.
It is so funny, guys. You know, we're not overstating this. It is so, it gives humanity hope, actually, to watch them as a couple, man. And this has been, how long have you guys been together?
Well,
the whole time, right?
2005,
16 years,
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
cheers.
The whole time.
Cheers. Cheers to that.
Salud.
So we're not going to sit here and complain and badmouth anything, but if you could change anything about Costa Rica, do you have any pet peeves? Like, this would be better if it was like this? Not complaining, because obviously we all come to grips with that thing. But
I think the thing that bugs me the most is some areas and certain things just feel a little too Americanized to me now. Like, parts that weren't so Americanized before are very, and I don't want that. Like, I came to Costa Rica for a reason. And even though sometimes I would struggle with how long it would take to get something done or not having access to something, that was the price of living here in paradise in this place. And now it just seems like, I don't know, so many more people have come down, moved down, and they change things sometimes, not always for the best.
Well,
I think right now that's one of my biggest pet peeves is certain things are just way too Americanized.
You know, I don't want to be that old guy that goes, it used to be better when I was going. But you know what? Fortuna, if you guys don't know, we're in Fortuna. It's probably arguably one of the biggest tourist destinations in Costa Rica. And it has turned into a totally tourist destination. It's another Tamarindo.
Yeah.
It upsets me
when you see a Papa John's, I kind of want to cringe.
When you see, and it bothers, the only thing that saves me is I know that I can go in any direction on any road for about 10, 15 minutes and be out of it. Because I might, when like a lot of the tourist destinations, like let's say Manuel Antonio or Tamarindo, you're going down to a beach and you're there, and it's very touristy. Here, you can go certain ways, and now you're right back into the nature. But it bugs me to no end. La Fortuna was a quaint, all the wood, the open air. Right now, it's turned into kind of they're almost like it's becoming a little bit of a little Miami kind of feel. They're modernizing the buildings a little more, and I just want to go, oh no, don't do that. Don't do that. But I don't want to be that guy.
Exactly.
Because I understand progress and people want to make money. I get it.
And that's why I felt kind of weird saying that. But that is kind of right now that feels a little bit more like my biggest pet
So
peeve.
what we're trying to tell you is don't come to the relocation retreat because we don't want you down here.
Fortuna, though, still is really special. That
I love it.
You still see all the locals mixed in with the tourists. So yes, this is a tourist town, but there's other tourist towns that feel like it is 100% tourist. I still feel like you get such a beautiful mix of the locals with the like when I walk around town, they're still in the park. They're still shopping at the same grocery stores. They're still it's still their town too. And so that still feels very, very good. But yeah, sometimes it also just feels a little too Americanized when I see a Papa John's.
But what are you going to do? I mean, so
nothing.
You know what? OSA.
Exactly. There you go. Another plug for the OSA.
I actually would live in the OSA if it was just a little bit more. I'm that guy. I want the nature. Sure, I want the monkeys.
You want something 10, 20 minutes away.
I kind of do.
Not 4 hours away.
Yeah, I don't mind off the grid. I can be off the grid for a long time. But to live there, and the back and forth on the boats, and
Yes.
rainy season's pretty
Oh,
rough on things.
Rainy season is rainy.
The ATM's over there, and
Yes.
this guy doesn't do this, and
Yes.
so okay, I admit that I want maybe just a little bit more.
Absolutely.
But man, if I could, I would be living there.
Yeah.
I think the Osa is the most stunning, beautiful place. You can walk in the jungle comes right up to the beach.
Yes, exactly. Jungle
and the
meets
macaws
sea.
really do fly by, and the monkeys are over here, and the waterfall's right. And you're like, what is this?
Yeah, it's heaven. Yeah, it's really, really heaven. So National Geographic called it one of the most biologically diverse places on the planet. So it's got a lot of biodiversity right there.
It's funny. I don't know why I keep saying it's funny, but when I was down the Osa, I was up way early. I made a video because I was out in the jungle. I just walked.
With the howler monkeys or something? Yeah.
And everybody thought I was high. Because I was talking. I was so amazed at the morning and the monkeys and stuff. I was talking it did sound like I was high, but I was not.
You're just in awe.
I was in awe, but I was talking like I just would. Because it's true. The monkeys were there, right there in the jungle. It was so what a morning.
Yeah. And to be in the ocean and look back and see there's basically nothing but greenery, right? It's just so green and lush, and it's a cool place.
So obviously are you a citizen right now?
I'm not a citizen.
I just got that.
I have permanent residency right now. Next time I'm up for my renewal, I'm gonna go for the citizenship. I've always heard that it's best to do when you're doing a renewal process, or it's kind of easier. So I think I have another year on this current card that I have for my permanent residency. So my goal is obviously need to look at actually what that entails, what kind of documents and all that shit. But I would like to go for it next time and kind of upgrade from permanent residency. But I have a bank account. I own a car. I have I do everything. I own a business here. I pay my taxes. I definitely, with that, even with just permanent residency, obviously I've been able to set up my life here.
I don't know if you know this, but I'm getting my permanent residency Monday.
Monday. That's what you told me yesterday.
I was supposed to get it a long time ago, actually, but okay, whatever.
I know.
You know how that all goes. It doesn't matter. But
COVID.
And and people go, well, Michael, are you going to try to get your citizenship eventually? And I go, no, dude, I can't. There's no way I can pass that test.
Yeah.
And I don't have to take it.
Yeah.
At 65, you don't got to take it.
I know. That's what I heard yesterday. Yes. I was like, otherwise, I don't know if you could pass. I'm kind of nervous about the test, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, that's really, really, that's cool for you.
So we're off camera now. How much is the permanent residency is not permanent? It's 5 years. What is that?
Well, it's permanent in the way that
but it's your card, right?
It's just like a driver's license.
So you just got to renew the card.
I just have to renew the card, exactly. But they still say because I still have to go there and take a photo and sign a piece of paper. So they say at that point that you just apply for the citizenship because you're already, it's once you're at the DMV, right? Because I have to go and say that what my address is.
Are you married? Actually, I don't know that.
Yeah, we are.
Oh, so you're married. So you got your residency.
I got my residency through
by the marriage, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
So at first I had to start out as a temporary resident. And obviously they can take that away from you at any time was how I felt. But so permanent meaning I could even divorce my husband now and still have my residency. It's not based on that anymore. So I'm a little bit more, I guess on my own. But yeah, permanent as far as I know, they're not going to take it away from me unless I do something I'm assuming insanely bad. I just have to go renew the card like you do a driver's license every 4 years or whatever.
Okay, cool.
Pay them $37.
This is a total random question, only because people like to hear it. Just generally, what's your cost of living here?
Wow.
Okay, you have a car. You have a house.
But I have a free house.
You have a free house. Well, everyone should have a free house.
Everyone should have a free house.
You should have a free house. If you're coming to Costa Rica,
it's the coolest thing ever. Best gift I've ever gotten in my life. I highly recommend you get a father-in-law that builds you with his hands a home. Obviously, we still have internet and phone and that kind of stuff.
And food's always usually the biggest.
Food and booze. My husband and I do like to have some adult beverages. So.
Is that what we call them now?
Adult beverages. That I think is by far my biggest expense.
So, okay, again, I don't want to get all personal, but about monthly, if you had to guess, because I'm sure you don't write it down because you probably have, you guys have enough money. You don't have to go, oh my gosh.
No.
So what do you think, Dad? Do you think you're at 2,000? 1,500? 2,500?
1,500?
I mean, that sounds right.
I feel like, because health insurance, kind of your basic, your cell phone, your cable, your whatever.
How much is your internet? See, like mine's $50.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's 60 bucks because we do have cable. So we have we have the 3-play thing. So we have the home line, the landline, the cable, and the internet. I think that's $60.
How much is your electricity?
See, Danielle actually pays that. We kind of separate the bills. I feel like that's maybe 20, so like $40.
Yeah, see, mine's only like 15,000 kilometers.
Yeah,
$30, guys.
Yeah. So I was gonna say, and I mean, and I feel like
biggest bills are Kaha.
Kaha is like $70 a month. I pay for Kaha.
Don't ask me how much I pay.
So I know I do know that I pay the lowest amount that they charge anybody, and I don't. It must just be from when I set it up way back in the day. I still basically pay the lowest amount you pay for the Kaha, and
so basically food. And booze.
Yeah, I mean, there are always some home things that you have to pay for. Like we have a really big lot of land, so we have a gentleman that Monday through Friday, 4 hours a day, he's there doing all the landscaping and everything. But all of us chip in for that. So maybe that's $100, but we're all chip because he's landscaping the whole property. But but
that's cheap labor.
It is.
People don't understand. This is what.
Yeah, and I have a cleaning lady, and it's still like $20 for her to come to clean my house.
I get so tired, and somebody will say it about this video. I get so tired of going. Costa Rica is so expensive.
It's not.
Yes,
I mean,
it can be.
It can be.
It can be. But
it's
guess
not
what?
Cheap. It's not cheap, but it can be done inexpensively.
Property taxes aren't even close to what they are in your country. Yeah. Health insurance, when you guys go, that's expensive. Yeah, well, what's your country, right? Yes. I mean, it's like, don't tell me, it's so expensive. So what did you want? You still think Coronas on Mexico for 50 cents is still a thing?
Yeah, they want it to be the cost of Nicaragua, but they want to drink the water and have all the luxuries that they want to have here, but they don't want to pay for them. So I struggle with that. Yeah, Costa Rica is not cheap. But I think you can still do it very inexpensively. Well, I think there was probably a long time there where I was probably honestly living closer to $1,000 a month, $1,200 a month. And then as I've made a little bit more money, I have a nicer car now, and I might, buy like.
She drives a Bentley.
Yes.
What the hell? Okay, maybe I might be lying about that.
I like that's not a Bentley.
It's a Montero.
He's gorgeous, but he's not a Bentley. But now I can exactly. I'll go to the store and buy whatever cheese I want or meat I want, and I don't have to worry about things.
Ever in the 16, 17 years, whatever, have you ever said, "Man, maybe it's time to go somewhere else"?
So actually, within these 17 years, we did actually live in Ecuador for 2. So between between 2010 and 12. My husband was offered a contract to do a job down there just for 2 years with a company that he was working for here. They needed help down there. And so we did do it. We thought, okay, it is just a short amount of time, but it's an opportunity to go explore a new country, a new continent, a new, everything. So we did actually live in Ecuador for almost 2 years.
Well, that's interesting. So did you, I think you did tell me that, but so did you ever go, maybe we should move into Ecuador?
No.
Because
it never felt like home. It was great and it was wonderful, and I loved it as a base point to explore and everything. But we really did miss Costa Rica. Costa Rica still felt like home. We have never once talked about going to the States. We have no interest in that. Which is funny because he, as a Tico, when people find out he's got a wife from the US, they can't figure out why we're here. Everyone's like, dude, why don't you guys live in the United States? I think this is for whatever reason, that's the Tico dream, right? Is I think to get out of here and get a gringo wife and go up to the States. But we have no desire to do that. And we could not wait to come back to Costa Rica. And this felt home. And he had never lived anywhere else. I've at least lived in a handful of states, and I've, done some things. I've lived in a lot of places. He had not. And it was wonderful. It was a great experience, but Costa Rica was home. We wanted to come back here, and while we were gone is when my father-in-law built the house for us. So when we came back,
it's kind of cool to have
exactly
it was a home to come back to.
Like when someone's like, "Well, if you come back here, you have a free house." It's like, okay, that sounds really nice.
All right. So last question. So where do you see yourself in 5 years? Still the same, or is there a plan? Do you have, whether it's business or to do something? Do you have any something goals, like a goal that way?
5-year plan. I would like to, I guess, somewhat kind of retire.
No. Wait.
I said
what?
somewhat retire.
You can't do that to me. You need to give me at least 2-year notice.
Okay.
2-year notice.
Okay. Good. No,
You heard it.
Yes, done. Actually, I really want to retire my husband a little bit more. Like, right, I can work my job anywhere I am with my computer, right? I can work.
Leaves.
He leaves. And he is getting a little bit older, and it's hard on his body, on everything, right? To spend so much time away from home and just constantly be on the road doing what he does. So I would like to get a point where I'm growing my business a little bit more, but on with my business, I do try to focus a little bit more on groups. My goal is to get like tour leaders or these groups so that are on like an annual thing. Cause then like it'll be like clockwork. I'll know a month before, 3 months before, 6 months before, so it'll be very like easy. So I'd like to kind of have my business is more of the retirement like plan where I can kind of get that on an easy flow, right? And then hopefully be making enough money where he doesn't have to work as much. And we can travel a little bit more and I can still run and work. Because I can still work when we're in Spain or California or La Fortuna.
You do travel around. You go back to the States a lot.
I do. I'm
always gone.
I'm cutting back on that a lot this year. Do you know? You don't know me all that well, but I do not have a plane ticket. You do now. I do not have a plane ticket to go anywhere right now, and that is like shocking. I always have a trip. I always have a plane ticket and a countdown and something to look forward to. And even though we have some trips, like I'm actually going to be in Vegas in September for a girlfriend's wedding.
My stomping ground.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's why I'm bringing that up. I get to officiate a wedding, so I'm so excited.
Well,
it's
cool.
One of the things I absolutely love to do.
If we, I don't know if we've confused anybody.
Yes.
So Annika is travel coach. She works with us, right? Travel coach. We are doing, but she also does her own travel stuff, right?
Yeah.
So she does her own thing. So you would think between the both of us, we could get Danielle back home.
I know.
Doing shit for us.
Exactly. So yeah, I would just like him. And
he could charge. He's a very
he's so good.
There's. I think maybe a lot of you people think when we say tour guide, come this way,
like
come this
nature
way.
Guide.
We're talking about somebody that knows every plant and tree and why that snake does this thing it does over here.
And the sound of that bird, he can call it and make it like come out of a tree.
So I don't think people understand that.
Yeah.
And if you've never had somebody like that, because I used to be that guy. Go, no, we don't need a tour guide. We don't need a tour guide. We did it at Mystico Hanging Bridges.
Yeah.
We decided to get a tour guide. I'm standing there by a tree, and he goes, "Don't move. There's a snake right there, blended into the bark of the wood."
Yeah.
They were pointing out things that we would have never saw.
Exactly.
Never saw.
Yeah, you'd walk right by him.
There was a pit viper. You know that yellow pit viper?
The yellow ones.
It was like 20 yards away.
Yeah.
I mean, on a tree, and they're not. In pictures, they may seem like they're big, but they're actually not very big.
No, they're tiny. They're actually
and he's
quite
like,
small.
Look over there. And I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
We would have missed all of it.
Exactly.
And I was like, I'm never going to say that shit and give them shit again. And
there are times and places where they can just they'll find the green lizard on the green leaf amongst all the green, and you're like, how in the world did you see that? And even sometimes when they're trying to tell you where to find something, and you're like, I don't know. Oh, okay, yeah, boom, I see it, and they just walk by and see that. Exactly. It took me 5 minutes staring at the tree to find the thing.
But not only do they
just spot. Like,
not only do they see it though, then they know about. They tell you the history of that. They go.
Yeah, it's like this and this, and this is what it eats, or this is how it lives.
My point is, you would think we can get him home.
Yeah, we can get him home. And I don't mind being that woman. I would basically love to make a little bit more money so he could work a little bit less, and we could travel a little bit more. I guess that's the goal. I want us to be traveling
more togetherness instead of separate.
Exactly, and start exploring the world a little bit more together.
Can I ask? Because this is a super personal, and you can tell me to don't. I'm not answering that. Do you feel that that him leaving and you leaving keeps it very strong?
Yeah.
Because no offense, but if you're around people all the time, you're like, oh my God, why are you here in the morning when I'm trying to drink coffee? God damn it, it's my time. So do you think if he was home more, we'll say, do you think it would be just as good or better, or do you think it would be a transition into kind of acclimated even that? Because you guys have always. We do a million different. I don't. Yeah. I'm not.
No, it's not that, and it's very weird because I grew up with my mom cooked dinner every night. My dad went to work from 8 to 5, and we did the weekends. I grew up in obviously in that very kind of traditional thing. But when I met him, this was the job he was doing. He would leave for weeks at a time, and at first, I really didn't think I was going to like it. It seemed very strange, especially I've now moved to this foreign country and I'm not going to now see my boyfriend for 3 weeks or a month, right? And it's kind of like, what am I doing here? One reason that I did also get the tour leading job, I thought, okay, this also gets me out of the house. Our big joke is, when I did first get down here, though, is I told him, I can't ever miss you if you don't ever go away. And it's still kind of our running joke. I can't miss you if you don't ever go away. For us, it does work out perfect because we are very strong, independent people. And I think that a part-time works really well for us. I love that I get to go out and be independent, Annika. He gets to go out and be independent, Danielle. And then we come back together. But we still right now, and always spent about a solid 2 months together, like September, October, even part of November. Exactly. Low season is here. He doesn't work. We always travel. And we do spend 2 or 3 months together basically every single day, right? Outside of going to the grocery store, the shower time or whatever that looks like. And we do still love each other. Like we have a great time. I mean, sometimes by the end, I'm like, okay, like a little bit. You could go away for a couple weeks now. So again, don't get me wrong.
I need to reboot.
I need to just kind of reboot. But I don't think it will. I really want us to be going on more adventures together. Like, and we do. We travel really well together and have so much fun.
Which is super important.
Yes.
I don't know how many people travel, but if you get the wrong people,
exactly, it does not go well. So yeah, it's kind of more of that. No, I would like more time with him and more adventures together.
Well, Annika, this has been great. Me and Annika, we talk all the time on email because we work together, but I haven't seen her in quite a long time. And it's so very nice catching up. I'm glad we got to share. You got to share some things. So, Annika, thank you very much.
Absolutely.
This is a little hug right here. Guys, I'm Michael Allen for TravelCostaRicaNow.com. Things are going to pop up. And if you're thinking about living or traveling anywhere, always do your homework and research. And if it's Costa Rica, I'm going to put my videos up against anybody's. All right, man. Bye. Thanks for hanging out.